And while IPL is over, the cricketing season is only half done. It's time to put on your Team India bleed blue jerseys, and there are apparently new ones now as the Indian cricket team are back in training ahead of the T20 World Cup 2024, with a large part of the squad currently in New York already. Amongst the latest to join them is the all-rounder Hardik Pandya. There is still, however, no official update regarding Virat Kohli's arrival in the United States as of now.
So what's going to happen from now till the start dates? Teams are going to warm up with 16 practice matches played between 17 countries from the 27th of May to the 1st of June. Cricket is obviously making a big ticket return to North America with the T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
The upcoming edition of the ICC World T20 will be co-hosted by the US, which is what's going to be really interesting, and of course the former champions, the West Indies.
So what exactly is the curtain raiser going to look like? What to expect, including the dates for the much talked about India-Pakistan clash? Here's the report.
It's time to gear up for T20 World Cup 2024 as we are just a few days away from the marquee event. Well, Team India has already reached New York. They are having a good time over there before they take on Ireland on June 5th in the T20 World Cup. But before that, they'll play a warm-up match against Bangladesh on June 1. But all eyes are set on that big match, India versus Pakistan, on June 9th in New York. Well, the tournament will begin on June 2. According to Indian timings, 6 a.m. will be the start of USA versus Canada match, the first match in this T20 World Cup. The co-hosts, USA will take on Canada. As I just mentioned, the co-hosts, which means that along with USA, the West Indies are also hosting this year's T20 World Cup. Now, it's going to be a big tournament as 20 teams will be participating in this event. This is for the very first time when 20 teams will be participating in a T20 World Cup, the highest ever in any edition. Now, all these 20 teams are divided into 4 groups of 5. Each team will play with 4 other teams in their respective groups, and the top 2 teams from each group will move to the Super 8 stage. And in the Super 8 stage, the top 2 teams will move to the semi-finals, and the top 1 team from each semi-final will go to the final, which will be played in Barbados on June 29th. It's going to be a fun cricketing affair from June 1st to June 29th. June 1st, I'm saying, because it's going to be India-Bangladesh warm-up match, and cricket fans here in India can watch each and every match when it comes to their team, the team in that blue jersey. Well, if we talk about, the interesting factors of this T20 World Cup, then there is one very important factor, and that's about the semi-final, the second semi-final of T20 World Cup. There is no reserve day for the second semi-final. However, there are reserve days for the first semi-final and the final match. Now, for the first semi-final and the final match, 190 minutes of extra game time has also been given along with the reserve day. But what's wrong with second semi-final then? Well, before that, let me tell you that Team India is in Group A along with Pakistan. So if Team India manages to reach to the semi-final, then they'll play the second semi-final only, and that's because of the timings. The first semi-final is going to be a night match in the US, which won't match the timings of the Indian audience. And if we talk about the second semi-final, then that's a day game, which means that it'll start at night according to the Indian timings. It'll start at 8:30 p.m. IST. And that's why Team India, if they qualify for the semi-final run, then they'll play the second semi-final. Now, there is no reserve day for the second semi-final because for the second semi-final, they have given 250 minutes of extra game time on that day itself. There is only one match day gap between the semi-final and the final, and that's why they can't afford to put that second semi-final to a reserve day if rain interrupts the match or bad weather forces the management side to postpone the match. They'll be able to postpone the match for only 250 minutes on that day, 27th of June. Whereas if we talk about the final match day, they still have a reserve day for that. So that's one very interesting thing about the second semi-final. No reserve day for the second semi-final. So that's that about T20 World Cup, but everyone's excited for that one big match. Whenever it comes to any World Cup, India versus Pakistan is always a big match, and this time around India will be hoping for that cup. Last year in the ODI World Cup, Team India didn't make it to the trophy because they lost it to Australia in the final match, and this time around England are the defending champions. So the wait's gonna get over this time, and we're just hoping for Team India to lift the trophy. So let's see what happened there in the US and the Caribbean, because it's time to roar for Team India as they are going to go in another World Cup, but this time around in T20 format.